right, so for this one, I'm gonna say the Cardinals are gonna come out on top 21-17.
Are you nuts? What? What did he say?
After 20 years, you know we back on. No more Snyder, more McLaurin. 1-4 with the passion, you know we scoring. FedEx field back lit, no it is not boring. John Allen lead the troops, yeah you know we storming. Burgundy and gold in my veins, yeah I bleed that. St. Jude saw the ball, grab a pig, yeah I need that. YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with another Washington Commanders video, and in today's video I have a very special guest joining me today to preview the Washington Commanders and the Arizona Cardinals Week 1 matchup. I have Mythic AZ joining me today. How you doing, my guy?
I'm doing pretty good, my guy. How are you?
I'm doing well. I appreciate you for taking time out your day to join the show and go over this game this Sunday. I feel like this is one of the most slept on games because it's not really, you know, doesn't have action-packed and star-studded guys on both sides of the field, especially for your Arizona Cardinals. Yes, we have a little bit of like some type of like you know, excitement with Sam Howell being unknown to a lot of other people. So we kind of have the excitement, but you guys, on the other hand, it's kind of just like, oh man, it's just pretty bad right now with starting Josh Dobbs. How do you feel about that? Jonathan Gannon, he's kind of trying to play games like we don't know what they're going to do, but it's pretty obvious, and y'all kind of came out. Ian Rappaport came out, basically said Josh Dobbs is starting. How do you feel about that? And was Clayton Tune ever really a realistic option?
I do think Clayton Tune was pretty realistic just because it's a rookie quarterback. He's been in camp the longest, but here's the thing. You don't make that trade for Josh Dobbs for no reason. You're coming in here to start, and unlike the realization of many people, the Cardinals aren't just going to come out here tanking. Now, obviously, if we come out here, we start 0-4 and 0-6 like a lot of people think we will, that's a different story. But if we were tanking, you throw the rookie into the fire because you want to lose as many games as possible. He didn't look great in the preseason whatsoever, so that's the move that you're going to make. But we're going with Josh Dobbs. So, I mean, it's going to be way more competitive than it would be with Clayton Tune. I like the move. And then going to Jonathan Gannon, I mean, I like it. You got to keep some competitive advantage, especially if you're not one of the best teams in football. You got to do everything you can to gain that competitive advantage. I like that because our former coach, Cliff Kingsbury, he would give the same answers post-game, pre-game. He would give the exact same thing. He'd be like, you just got to hand it to them, you know? They're the better team. They outplayed us, and they did this. And it's like the same thing. Like, yeah, I'm not going to speak on our injuries. Like, it's nice to, see a coach who wants to, maintain some competitive advantage. I like it.
Yeah, and I understand since it's week 1, a lot of Cardinals fans still have some type of optimism left in the tank, or at least trying to, you know, have some optimistic going into this year, at least at the beginning, because again, we all assume that you all are going to be pretty bad this year. And trust me, yeah. I don't want to make it seem like I'm just hounding on y'all, because I'm a Commanders fan. We've been through it all. Our 2019 year is probably the worst year, not probably, the worst year in our franchise, 13-3, and I kind of feel like that's where y'all are heading. Hopefully, you know, you guys could potentially be as lucky as us one day, as we finally got rid of our owner. I don't think y'all owner is nearly as bad as ours, but I mean, I know a lot of Cardinals fans want Bidwell gone too, so it definitely is a tough time in the desert. But I will be honest with you, man. A lot of Cardinals fans genuinely think y'all are going to win this game. I don't see it. And even if I wasn't a Commanders fan, I wouldn't see it. I genuinely just don't think you guys are talented enough to really win this game, but just overall have a good season. I mean, I know you have a couple pieces on the offensive side of the ball. Marquise Hollywood Brown, who's solid. Rondell Moore, James Conner. It's just all about the quarterback position. Now, if Kyler Murray was playing in this game, he gave us fits a couple years ago in the COVID year on week 2.
Yes, he did.
If he was playing, it would be a total different thing.
Different ball game.
Yeah, I probably still would pick us to win in a close one, but it would be totally different. But since you guys don't have no quarterback, and I don't know much about your defense. I only know it's Buda Baker and a couple of young other pieces, Zayden Collins. But you got rid of Isaiah Simmons. What gives you, just because we've talked before, and you said that you going to pick the Cardinals to win is a little bit of a spoiler.
You got
the Cardinals winning. Why do you have that? What is giving you the optimism that the Cardinals are going to win this game?
Okay, so if we're being realistic, it's a lot of bias as well as just optimism and just like hoping. It's week one, you know. I mean, we haven't seen the team on the field. We've seen them in preseason. We haven't seen this team in a regular season game at all. So if I'm gonna have any optimism for the entire season, week one is all I got. So I'm gonna rock with it. I don't care if it's bias, you know, because I know it's bias. I do. I still think it'll be close, but I'm still going to rock with my guys. You know, it's my team. Week one, I'm at least going to predict a win, but going forward, it might not look like that. And unfortunately for you, you guys are the opponents that we're facing. So you're going to have to deal with the delusion just a little bit. And maybe come halftime, the expectations that I had, they just trickle away.
Yeah, I mean, it's just because I don't think people that aren't Commanders fans realize what you guys are walking into on Sunday. I almost feel bad, but I don't feel bad because we deserve this as a fan base. Let me just let you in on a little something. Obviously, you know, we got rid of Dan Snyder, who was the worst sports owner in all major sports. He was terrible. Only had, I believe two playoff wins in his whole tenure. He has been through a million coaches, a million GMs, a million quarterbacks. It was so bad. Then we get a new owner, obviously. Magic Johnson is another guy that's a part of it, that major public figure. And now we have a quarterback. Like, it would be one thing if Josh Hurst bought the team and we still didn't have a quarterback. But we believe in Sam Howell. And I know he hasn't done nothing, but a lot of people just think he's this typical fifth-round pick when that's not the case. Again, this guy was on the Heisman watch list in the beginning of his last season at Chapel Hill. Had a strong preseason and had a strong performance versus the Dallas Cowboys. It's going to be ups and downs because he's a young guy, but I genuinely think we finally found our quarterback, and that's what's giving us the optimism. And then we sold out our first home opener game in I don't know how many years. So I just almost feel like you guys don't understand what you're walking into. So I understand the optimism now, but I think come Sunday, I feel like it's going to be a crazy, crazy game. Like, although my score prediction may not sound as bad as the game may be, I think it's going to be a total butt whip. And I'm going to be honest with you. I like to be humble because we haven't done nothing, but in this sense, it's like, man, because there's so many factors that go into it. But let me know some things you think your Cardinals team could do to win this game. Take advantage, you know, maybe some keys to victories that you think the Cardinals are going to have to do to, you know, pull up the upset. I mean, I guess it's an upset because they're 7-point underdogs, but
yeah. So first things first, this defense is going to have to step up. They're going to have to stop this Commanders offense. And if we want any chance in this game, we're going to have to hold you guys under 20 points. That's kind of where my prediction is. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. I'll give you guys a legit score, but just know I have you guys under 20. Is that bold? Yes, but that's where I got it. I think the defense needs to step up. If we have any chance in this game, you guys have to score under 20 because this offense has a ton of uncertainties. We're changing from a super pass-heavy scheme to an air raid to a run-first system. So James Conner's most likely going to get a lot of touches. If he gets anywhere from like 25 to 30 carries, do not be surprised. There's going to be a lot of runs going on, and Josh Dobbs is just going to be a game manager for this one. I don't know how many points we're going to score, like, truthfully, but we're going to have to step up in both ways. And another one, speaking of run game, we need James Conner to step up. We can't have a game where he's averaging 3 yards a carry and he doesn't find the end zone. We need the line to step up, and we need James Conner to get involved. And then, obviously, the thing that everybody's been talking about is the quarterback. You know, we didn't know who it was. It is now officially listed as Josh Dobbs. So everyone knows that. It's Josh Dobbs. So we need Josh Dobbs to come in here. We can't have him turn the ball over. Turnovers will kill this game so fast. And the Redskins have playmakers on the Commanders have a lot of playmakers on the field.
Don't never feel bad about calling us our real name.
Hey, that's what I grew up. That's what I grew up with. I mean, it sticks, you know.
Yeah. Definitely.
But the now Commanders.
Yeah, and it is what it is. I don't ever feel shameful for saying the Redskins. It's fine. But no, I definitely want to know, like, James Conner is definitely going to get somewhere between 20 to 25 carries. I don't expect them to put the ball in the hands of Josh Dobbs, not just because it's Josh Dobbs, but because of how fast he's been there, or should I say how short he's been there. You know what I'm saying?
Less
He's
than 2
only been there
weeks.
for 2 weeks. He's basically brand new. So how much of the offense do you really think he's going to have down packed? Not a lot, you know. And then on top of that,
yeah,
when I was on your channel, I kind of had to remember. We already saw Josh Dobbs this year in the preseason versus the Browns, so we kind of have some film on him. Obviously, it's preseason, it's different offense, but we
it's
have
super vanilla.
but we have the some type of film on him to see what kind of quarterback he is, you know. And he threw an interception to us in that game, so hopefully that is speaking that into existence. That is what's foreshadowing to come for us. Hopefully we can create some turnovers. He's a guy that can obviously create plays with his legs. He's a guy that, you know, at times can be a game manager. And if you guys have any chance of beating us, I should say, it's going to be because of that. Because he didn't turn over the ball like you mentioned. Because he made the right plays. And because he kept us off the field. Let's keep it a buck. If y'all going to win this game, you're going to have to keep our offense off the field. Because if you let our offense get on the field, it's going to get ugly. Because I would have agreed with you the last couple years, because we have not been able to score points the last couple years. No matter how good our offense has been, we've been like a team that's barely scoring 20 points. I would have agreed with you on that tape if Eric Bieniemy wasn't our new offensive coordinator. But now that Eric Bieniemy is our new offensive coordinator, it should tell you how bad our offense was as far as play calling wise. That's why Scott Turner was so horrible. But our offense has, in the 2 preseason games that the starters played, looked the best I've seen in 3 years. That Scott Turner was our offense. So that shit just goes there to show you how bad we were under him. We had so many wasted plays and so much talent on this roster that was getting wasted, that I just feel like now with Eric Bieniemy here, 2-time offensive coordinator, Super Bowl champion, I think it's going to be really good. And again, I just really realistically don't see a way that you guys beat us unless you keep it in a low-scoring game like you're saying. So let me know for our offense, because we have a lot of talent. What are some defenders on the Cardinals that we may have to watch out for? Obviously, we know Budda Baker, but who's a guy that, you know, could potentially go out there and make some plays that could sneak up on us?
All right, so Marco Wilson is going to be another player. He's stepping into the cornerback 1 spot for the first time in his career. He's still a super young cornerback. I believe it's tier 2 or 3 for him. So super athletic corner, super great ball skills. We're going to have to see if he can, you know, take that step. And then we also have Catrell Clark, our other outside corner. He earned his CB2 spot, and he's a rookie. So you don't earn that CB2 spot, even though the room is very weak. You don't earn that spot for nothing as a rookie. So we have 2 outside corners who are pretty solid in my opinion, and I think he makes some big time plays. But man, Terry McLaurin is going. Terry McLaurin's good.
Yeah.
So that's gonna make things a lot interesting, because Terry McLaurin might just dice his defense. Like, truth be told, Sam Howell has his #1 weapon back, so it could get scary. You know, that secondary is not great, especially on the outside. So we'll see. But I am expecting decent games from our corners. I have a lot of expectations from Marco Wilson. Super athletic corner. I like him. And then another player I'm really high on for the Cardinals is Cameron Thomas, an outside linebacker. He seems like a player who could really break out this season. He's shown flashes in preseason as well, but I want to see it in the regular season. I want to see it where it counts, and I'm expecting a leap from him. I have him and Myjai Sanders. I believe Myjai Sanders is on IR, if I'm not mistaken. So if he's not playing, I would say BJ Ojulari and Cam Thomas. Those are my 2 outside linebackers that I'm really looking forward to seeing play. And then Marco Wilson and Catrell Clark. And then obviously you have Budda Baker and Jalen Thompson in the back end as well. We have a pretty decent little defense. It's not fantastic, but it's solid. Then you have Zaven Collins, who I'm not the biggest fan on. I'm not going to lie to you. When we picked him, I wasn't the biggest fan. I made that very clear. Not the biggest Zaven Collins guy. And he's moving positions again. He went from inside linebacker for his first 2 seasons. Now he's on the outside. He's kind of taking that like Hassan Reddick kind of role. So I don't know how it's going to pan out for Zaven Collins, because the skill sets are a lot different. Zaven doesn't really have any pass rusher moves. But just as a football fan, I would just keep your eye out for Zaven Collins and see what he can do.
Yeah, so that's definitely going to be noted. all the guys that you mentioned. I will say your outside pass rushers are going to be guys that could potentially have a good day because our offensive line is not the best. It is much improved than it was last year, but our two tackles are the positions that scare me the most, Charles Leno and Andrew Wiley. So those are the two spots that I could say Washington may have the weakest link in a sense that you guys could potentially attack. Other than that, as you mentioned, Terry McLaurin is scary, no pun intended, scary Terry. But even without him, that's why I already think we're gonna beat y'all like pretty badly, pretty convincingly. We don't even need him to play. That's how stacked we are at the wide receiver position, in my opinion. Jahan Dawson, I think, could easily step in for this game and be a number one wide receiver. Obviously, De'Ami Brown and Curtis Samuel and Cole Turner's another young budded star tight end. Still got Logan Thomas, who when healthy is pretty solid. But the running game, Brian Robinson, really good. Dude had 800 rushing yards last year after missing 5 weeks of gameplay. And then he said this. He said, at all last year, I've never felt like myself. And he rushed for 800 plus yards and he missed 5 games. Could you imagine what a healthy Brian Robinson looks like? And he has the ability to catch out the backfield too. I feel bad for a lot of teams. Then you got Antonio Gibson thrusted into this new role. He's going to be used more as a wide receiver and, more of a gadget guy like he should have been when we drafted him out of Memphis. So we don't even need Terry to play this game, if I'll be a whole 100 with you, man. Like, if Terry plays, because Terry's a dog, he wants to be out there, and he looked solid in practice. He didn't look like he was gimpy or anything like that. He looked fine. So Terry wants to play. And if he does, the motive should be get Terry off the field as quick as possible. So let's go ahead and get the Cardinals. Let's go get the Cardinals out the way so we can get Terry off the field as quick as possible. But flipping sides now, if there is any offensive guys that we should watch out for, is there anybody that you genuinely think can give us a fit?
I don't know, because I don't even know if Hollywood Brown's playing. He's been questionable this week, so he's dealing with a hamstring injury, and those are tricky. So if Hollywood sits out, I would probably say Michael Wilson. Michael Wilson has looked very impressive in preseason. He's looked very impressive in the offseason and in practices. That's probably the player I would say. Maybe Greg Dortch as well. He's been making plays consistently for the past 2 seasons, just hasn't had the opportunity to go out on the field and make them regularly. So if Hollywood's out, this is going to be his time to shine.
Yeah,
so
I definitely
him as well.
I'm interested.
And obviously James Conner.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested to see that because I didn't even know. I think I saw that Hollywood Brown was done with a hamstring, but I thought that it said he was limited. So I was like, oh yeah, he's gonna play. But again, like you said, hamstrings are tricky. So he could wake up one day feeling good, the next day it tightens up on him. So that's definitely gonna be interesting to keep an eye on. Other than that, man, again, I don't even want to sound like just this straight up this guy that just thinks his team is superior, but I don't see it, man.
I feel you.
If we lose this game right here, we have bigger problems. Like, we should just cancel the whole season. You know what I'm saying? The schedule makers blessed us with a week 1 game at home. We have to win this game. If we don't, we have bigger problems than we thought we had. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, we kind of covered everything. Let's go ahead and get to the final score predictions and why you have us scoring what we're scoring. So go ahead and take it over. Who do you have winning and why do you have them winning and what is your score prediction?
All right, so for this one, I'm going to say the Cardinals are going to come out on top 21-17. Now, like I said, maybe week 2 I become more realistic, I guess, and a little less biased because we might get slapped around this game, We might lose by 10, 14. We might lose by a lot. I really don't know, but I'm gonna have that little bit of optimism, and I'm gonna say we're gonna take a 4-point victory. We're gonna win a very close game, 21-17.
Alrighty.
What are you feeling?
My score prediction is 31-15. The Washington Commanders take the victory, and I'm being pretty lenient with that score prediction because realistically, I think it's gonna be 31-10. Hopefully 31-6 or something crazy than that, but I'm gonna say 31-15. Just because I think you guys may get some late action going. Maybe Clayton Tunes is up in this game at some point. Who knows? But I'm gonna go ahead and say 31-15, and the Washington Commanders improve to 1-0 in the season and get their new new quarterback started in the right direction. So with that being said, I appreciate you, Mythic AZ, for taking time out of your day, joining the show to provide insight on the Arizona Cardinals. Let the people know where they can find you.
So I am on YouTube at Mythic AZ. You guys can go check that out. I'm on Instagram at I believe it's at I'm Mythic AZ, and then on Twitter at It's Mythic AZ. So if you guys want to check me out, that's where you can find it. And the Instagram and Twitter might be flipped, but those are all the platforms I'm on. And I do appreciate you for having me on the channel. I really do. I was supposed to be on here yesterday, but I slept through my alarms. That's my fault. Yeah, so I appreciate you for having me back on, and we can make something work, man.
It's all good, my guy. I appreciate you for coming through again. And make sure you guys go ahead and follow and subscribe to Mythic AZ. Has great content coming for the rest of this year. As always, me and boy Juangotti. Like, comment, subscribe. Hail to the Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 6,000 subscribers, so please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And again, we're doing the Terry McLaurin jersey giveaway once we hit 6K. So all you gotta do to be entered in that giveaway is be a subscriber to the channel. It's free. I tell them all the time, it's not many things left free in this world. Subscribing to YouTube channels are pretty much free. So
just one button.
Do it. Takes 5 seconds to
press
subscribe.
the button. You got a chance at a Scary Terry jersey. I mean, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. So make sure you guys go ahead and check out Mythic AZ and have a great night. And see y'all Sunday for the game. Peace.
Peace.